All right, everybody, one of the coolest parts here is getting some paint on it finally. What we're looking for here is trying not to get the glass, obviously, try not to hit the vase with the paint as much. Again, you can go back over this, with just water and a paintbrush and just try to get the paint, any extra paint off of it that you don't like. But I kind of find that I like the black outline kind of around, like this part right here. I like that black outline when it shows up around here. It just makes it look kind of more dingy. But I don't like to get paint on the glass part. I don't like to get paint on my ropes or my sticks. So these parts right here that are on the sticks, you can hit with the spray paint real quick, but like this piece right here that's over the glass, you can go to the side and hit it, but certainly don't paint right at it. If you catch my drift, I think you guys understand. But what you want to do is try and hit every piece that you can with black paint so that you don't have to paint so much with a paintbrush. So let's just get on it. All right, so again, just some black spray paint. Try and cover what you can. Gonna hit this bottom part real quick here. I hit my stick a little bit there, but that's okay. Again, nobody's going to walk up to your creation and go, oh my gosh, look at that black spray paint you got all over that thing. It is kind of inevitable. You're going to get some paint on there. Hey, doing good. How are you?
All right.
Good. Just get what you can with the spray paint so you have less to do later. Oh, see, I just got a whole bunch right on there. That sucks. That's all right though. We'll tidy that up later. Sometimes it just happens. Let me tell you a little something about painting with spray paint too, with paper mache is what you're doing now is you're getting it wet again. So what's going to happen is some pieces are going to get wet and they're going to come apart a little bit, and you're going to say, gosh, I could have swore I hit that with the spray paint. And you did. It's just coming apart just a little bit, which gives you a little bit more texture. But we're not soaking this thing down, so it's not too bad. But you're going to kind of look at it later and go, oh man, I could have swore I hit that spot. That's particularly important when we go to do skeletons here in a little while, because you don't want any little white pieces on the skeletons, and you don't want white on this either. But you'll notice that more so. You thought you got the underside of something, and it's just that the paper's come open a little bit. Again, having some little color around the edges here isn't terribly bad. You just want to try and be careful not to get a whole bunch on there. Try and get what you can with the can, like I said. Less painting later. With a paintbrush is always better. Don't forget the back sides of things, underneath things. But that's pretty close. I'm going to just hit it a couple more times here, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time just showing you how to spray paint something. I'm sure you guys get the gist of it. So I'm just going to spray paint a little bit more, then I'm going to take it back inside and we're going to paint the rest of it with a paintbrush and some black paint. All right, be back in a few. So I just knew there'd be something that I would forget to tell you for supplies that you needed, and that thing this time would be black acrylic paint. Getting it at Walmart. I think these are like $3 for the bigger tubes. So I'm gonna need some black. I use paper plates or styrofoam plates for my paint palettes. I just use them over and over and over again. It doesn't matter to me whatsoever that this thing's been used like 20 times. It just dries and it's just what I use. So all I'm going to do now is get some black paint on my palette here, and all I'm going to do is now hit these little spots that we didn't hit. And we're just going to try, just like the tin foil, now we're going to try and cover up all the white with black. So again, I'm not going to go too much into detail with this because I think you all can probably get the picture. And again, don't be too distraught if you get a little bit on your stick here, or get a little bit where you shouldn't have it. Nobody's gonna care. But you just want to try and do your best just to let all your features show without having, like, there's a little piece of rope sticking out right here. I don't want to hit that with black. I'm try and keep that brown, or the golden color that it is. But again, just trying to get this white stuff covered up. This takes you a little while, but you know what? It's relaxing. It's fun, and you're going to have to paint this all again in a different color and paint it all again in another color. And so if you don't get all the little bitty pieces of white the first time, you'll probably get them when you get the brown paint. You'll probably get them when you get the lighter brown paint. Do your best to try and cover it all. All right, so I'm just going to keep painting here and get this thing painted up so we can get some browns on it. And we're just about done here. All we got to do is get some color on it, and we're ready to rock and roll and call this project done. So I will be back shortly after I get it all painted black, and we'll put some brown on it. All right. All right, so as you can see, I'm pretty much done with this. There's a couple of little white spots here and there. And again, you'll get some of those covered up with the brown. But we want to just do our best to get it with the black. And there's little spots that I see there, like underneath right here. And still little spots right here. And these pieces of paper that are just, yeah, the glue makes them hard, but once you start painting on it, they just become wet paper again. So they get a little difficult to paint, these little pieces. So you might need to let it dry and then go back over it one more time with some more black. And I guess it depends on how much of a perfectionist you are. I'm not too much of a perfectionist. I enjoy the details, and I enjoy people finding those details and pointing them out. So I spend a little extra time on little details, but I wouldn't call myself a perfectionist by any means. But I do like to do things and do them right. So it was one thing I got from my dad, was that lesson. If you're going to do something, try and do it right. Do the best job at it you can. So I try to get all this white covered. But there you go. There's a little bit more. See that down in here that I have to get. I'm just kind of spin it around, take a look at it. Again, these pieces are kind of hard to paint when they're wet. Just do your best. Okay, so we're going to let this dry, and then we're going to hit it with some brown, and we're going to hit it with different color brown, then we're going to hit it with some beige, and we're going to be finished with this project. So with these vines, I might put a little green on there too, just to give it a little different contrast. We'll see how that goes when we look at it here when it's done drying. And like I said, we're going to let this dry, and then we'll be back. Okay, we've let the brown, the dark brown, completely dry. And that's another point, and you know, people that paint, they understand this, and maybe some of you have never painted anything in your life, but let's just let every color completely dry before you start the next color. We're going to do the lighter brown next, and again, not going to go in a complete total painting the whole thing right in front of your eyes here, but I'm going to grab my nutmeg brown now. And put a little bit of that on this tray here. And again, just trying not to cover up all the brown that we just did. And certainly try and just catch it on parts. Don't we're not dry brushing quite yet, but we are just going over just the top layer of everything now. We're not trying to get down into the crevices and stuff with this color. We just want to hit the top layers, keep the bottom layers darker color. see how that goes. I'm just going to want to go over it all again with this lighter brown color. All right, I think you see the idea. We're just gonna go, I'm gonna finish this up and then I'll be back and we're gonna dry brush this. So be right back. Okay, boys and ghouls, we are pretty much on the last part, the last little thing that we have to do to finish this up. I could have said, you know, maybe at the very beginning of this, but with these I don't do it. But you know, you can always put a fan on these to get them to dry faster. What I found though is when you put a fan on something that's hanging like this, you can leave it and come back in a little while and that thing is spinning around like this because the fan's got it moving. And the last thing you want is for this to fall because it's spinning so fast, you know, and it just comes loose up here at the top of the screw or whatever, it falls. But I don't put a fan on these. I learned that from the first one that I did because you can't stop it from spinning like that. Maybe if you put 2 fans on it and try to get them to go opposite direction, I don't know. I just don't put a fan on these hanging lanterns. So anything else that I do paper mache though, I definitely put a fan on. After I've done the paper process, you know, that gets it going, dries a whole lot quicker. So like I said, with these I don't do that. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to dry brush some of this beige color on here, and that's just going to make all these high points on this stand out and pop. So again, I don't have a whole lot of paint on my, there we go, on there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip my brush in it. I think most of you know what it means to dry brush something, but just in case you don't, I put some paint on my paint brush. And then I take a dry piece of newspaper or cloth or whatever you want to use and just get some of that paint off that paintbrush so your paintbrush is a little drier than it would be. And we are going to just go lightly to get those ridges to pop just a little bit. I'm going to get just a little bit more on there. And this is where everything really starts to come out. You get this color on there where everything, all the textures that you've done are really going to show up. And you just want to go over real lightly. Hit all these spots. Again, don't try not to paint over all your browns. All we're doing is trying to hit those high points on this. See how that's starting to pop? I think that looks awesome. I love this stage. There's just a bunch of little wrinkles. You can't see them. Gosh darn it, my camera's not hot. and just things like this piece right here. I got it plugged in and it's not coming over. But that paint just picks up on. Makes it look cool. All right. So just go around, do that, get that done. I would say go as heavy as you want or as light as you want. I think the lighter you keep it, so like I think I got too much on right there, but that's okay. Once this dries, it does dry darker, just like all the other paints. They dry darker, so it won't be so bright. But I think I just got a little bit too much on that little piece right there. But it's gonna look great. Down here on the bottom. Flip it around here. Get up here on the ropes. All right, that's all there is to it. Okay, so I'm going to finish this up real quick, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to give you a couple little tips that you can do with it once you're done painting it, just to spruce it up a little bit. Again, these are all just creative ideas that you can do. But guys, that's a rot jar. That's how I make them. I hope you enjoyed this series, and we're going to continue with another one right after this. I'm going to show you guys how you can make cool decorations, maybe for a witch's graveyard, on how I make my burial totems that I made last year. Those are fun to make, and they really bring a different element to a traditional graveyard. You can do something different with your yard if you'd like. So like I said, I'm going to finish dry painting this, dry brushing this, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you a couple of little things that you can do if you'd like to. All right? All right. See you in just a bit. All right, so we've given this a little time to dry. So some of these things that you can do, we've got this pretty well covered, but there are little spots that that come through, like we talked about on this vine right here, where this piece is coming through, and any parts that are the original paper, like right in here, that are the original. You put the paper down first, then we put the texture over it, so that paper that was down first that's shining through the texture. I like to take that. Let me grab a smaller brush. I like to take that, especially if I'm making like a tree or anything that's organic like that, and I just like to give that a little beige hit. I take some of this beige and I just paint it in right there. I'm painting left-handed, look at that. I kind of just give it a little. It makes it kind of seem like the wood is sticking through. That's kind of a big area right there, but there's some little areas right here that I would just like to have some contrast in there. Got that little part there. There's a little part right here that's in here. Another part kind of down in here. You can see that. And just kind of like give that that lighter color. It kind of makes it look like the wood is sticking out through there. Here's another piece right here. That would be a good shot for some. Right there. Get some more paint on here. Okay, anything else on this side? There's just like a little piece right here. See that, guys? So I just like to turn it around and just get some of those little spots. There's a little piece right there that we could do on this one. Right there. Maybe right there. Maybe right in here. So, yeah, like I said, you just go back over and do some of those. They might even still be black spots underneath there. But you just want to kind of just give it a little bit of little flavor. All right. Another thing that we can do, like we were talking about when we were making these vines, is maybe giving them just a hint of that they were once alive. And what I like to do is I like to take a darker green. This green is a little bit brighter, but it's an ivy green, and I'm kind of just going to do a dry brush on that. I got a littler brush. I got this color green on there. Let's see that. And I am just going to barely touch this with a little bit of green, just to give it that, gosh, it once maybe was alive, but it's really not anymore. And this, like I said, completely up to you whether you want to do this or not. But just a little touch of green on there, just for the heck of it. Now, I wouldn't do these. I would say these are more branches than they were vines. That's just me, but like I said, it's up to you, whatever way you want to do it. But I think I'm gonna call this one done. I think it's just gonna be finished. I guess there's a couple other things I could tell you. You could add moss to these if you want. I have some moss over here. I didn't add any, but you can add some to anything that you want. You know, just have some running along here if you want it, or some coming off here in these little nooks and crannies. It doesn't matter. You can put it wherever you want. You can add more sticks to these. I've certainly added more little sticks when I was building these, and put sticks across the glass here. Makes it look a little bit, I don't know, just makes it look a little bit more authentic, I guess. Not that this doesn't look good. I think this is a great project. I think I did okay on this one. I've just done some other ones with more sticks, more littler sticks, little sticks about that big, you know, just little tiny things that just go up in there. So just trying to give you guys some more ideas of what you can do with it if you'd like. So there it is. We're going to call it good. Guys, stay tuned. I got some more stuff coming for you. I appreciate you push and play. It's Uncle Fester signing off. See you guys in a little bit. Bye.